So, my dear friends, today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks about IELTS writing task 1 academic version. And it will be particularly about multiple charts and graphs. So, this lecture is going to help you answer task 1 questions that feature more than one chart or graph. Now, there can be multiple combinations like a pie chart and a table, a line graph and a bar chart, a pie chart and a line graph, etc. So the students normally score lower on these types of questions, not because they are more difficult, but because they are unfamiliar with this type of question. So let's discuss common problems facing the students. The one is writing too much. Just because there's more than one data source, the students tend to write, rather they are tempted to write about everything, and this causes two problems. The problem number one is that you only have 20 minutes to answer task 1 questions, and you therefore don't have time to write about everything. The second problem is that the question asks you summarize and report the main features. Therefore, you have to pick only a few features and report them. In other words, if you write about everything, you have not answered the question properly. The solution is pick 2 of the most obvious features from each graph and limit yourself to writing about these things and these things only. Don't worry about leaving information out. The examiner will be actually looking for your ability to leave insignificant information out, because this shows that you are summarizing and only reporting the main features. Now, if you can't find the main features, what should be done? As I've told you before, you'll be looking for just 2 features in each graph. It is often very difficult for students to decide which features are the most significant. The solution is the first important point should be very visual, or it can be identified without looking at the data. Look for extremes, highs and lows, major trends, major changes, and any obvious comparisons that can be made between either the 2 graphs or within the same graph. Now, not grouping information into paragraphs is the next point. It is very important that you organize your idea into paragraphs. The paragraphs should be logical and have one main idea. Lots of students fail to do this, and they put data from different graphs into one paragraph. This can be confusing for the examiner, so it's likely to give you the low band scores. Very difficult to read and understand by the examiner. So, as a result, you lose marks. The solution is don't write about both graphs in one paragraph. Group ideas for each paragraph separately. So one paragraph for one graph should be dedicated. When I say one paragraph, means one body paragraph. There are 2 normally body paragraphs in task 1, and if you include the introduction and overview, they become altogether 4 in number. Now, something about making comparisons. The question states make comparisons where relevant. The key word here is relevant, and this is what tricks many students. Students, unfortunately, tend to make comparisons even if it is irrelevant. The solution is, if you don't notice a very obvious comparison between the 2 sources of data, stop looking for one and don't write about one. I mean, there is no need to write down any comparisons if they're not available in the charts, graphs, or tables. It should also be noted that there may also be comparisons to be made between the data in the same graph. Now, something about the universal structure for multiple charts or graphs. What should be the ideal structure? Now, these actually my sentences are really important for confirming what should be actually written in this multiple kind of graph chart table exercise. So in this lecture, similarly, we'll deal with a general structure which can be used for every question in which you are given two different graphs. So the paragraph 1 would be sentence 1. In sentence number 1, paraphrase question sentences. There will normally be two question sentences and you should combine them into one sentence by using and or while. What will happen? This will allow you to produce a complex sentence and gain points from grammatical range and accuracy, GRA. Paragraph 2, sentence number 2, actually you know about the paragraph 2 number 8 is always about overview. It's an overview paragraph. So sentence number 2 in paragraph number 2 will be of two of the main features from graph number. Two main features should be found out from the paragraphs, from the tables, or multiple exercises, and they should be included in the paragraph number 2 and sentence number 2. Sentence number 3 would be about overview of the two of the main features from graph number 2. The first sentence in overview should be about the two main features of graph number 1, and sentence number 3, the sentence number 2 of the overview paragraph, it should be two of the main features from graph number 2. I beg your pardon. So two main features from graph number 1, two main features from graph number 2. So they will constitute actually your overview. And the sentence number 4 should be an overview of any comparisons if necessary. It's an optional sentence. If there are comparisons, they should be made. And it will be sentence number 4. So sentence number 2 and 3 and 4, they would be included in paragraph number 2, which is known as very popular overview paragraph. Now the paragraph number 3, sentence number 5, details of first main feature of graph number 1. Sentence number 6, details of second main feature of graph number 1. And then paragraph number 4, sentence number 7, details of first main feature of graph number 2. Sentence number 8, details of second main feature of graph number 2. Sentence number 9, details of any comparisons, if any. If there aren't any comparison, they should be made. So paragraph number 2 should just be an overview of the main features and should not include any details. The details should rather must be given in paragraph number 3 and 4, which are known as the body paragraphs. My dear friends, thank you very much indeed for listening to this exercise very attentively. I hope if you happen to just understand these important points, you are likely to get good band scores in your task 1 academic version. See you in another video. Until then, God bless you all. Take care and bye-bye.